Hey people, it's Broken Puppet, and this is how to draw an old school eagle. Enjoy. People, how to draw an old school eagle. Now this one's going to be sort of back view, not the wing spread, so the wing's kind of back. It's actually a lot simpler than it seems. So to start with, let's mark out my places, a point, a point. Right, start off with an egg shape. The fat side being at the top. Just keep running your pencil around, making that egg shape, like so. Simple. Line down the middle. Another egg shape at the bottom, this time smaller and the fat side at the bottom. Little circle to the side just there, but don't worry about that one too much in a minute. Now bring the line coming off the edge of the egg here, coming up and around. And then once you come just off of here, so if you imagine like the edge bit's just here, once you get just towards that area, circle it off. And then just do a triangular shape just coming just there. And now with the egg shape in the middle, now as at a point here where it just starts to curve back inwards, draw a line across. From there, diagonally down, and same on the other side. So you're cutting like halfway through that bottom bit of the egg, just there and there. Now that's your basic structure. Now I'm going to go straight into pen here so you can see everything really, really nice and clearly. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to start with pencil, just so you guys see how to put everything in properly. Now I'm going to start off with the face. And now where you got this triangle bit, where this bit just here curves, you want to start from there. Create a curve, going like so, and then towards the end of it just flick the other way. So you make it almost like a fish hook kind of shape. Off of that, just towards like where this curved bit here is, bring a circular shape. And voila, just like that, you got your eye. And now I'm going to go to the mouth. Now where you got this triangle shape, come off this bottom bit, make a little loop coming up, touch back down onto the line, another little loop towards the end, and then on the end of it, come up a little bit further than the line, and then bring it back towards that line shape. Now once you get to where the circle connects, just roll it down, and then come outwards and around this curved bit here. From there, just curve this down. So you've got a slight almost S curve, so you start a little bit there, then curve back around. You don't need to go as far as the mouth, so this bit comes out a lot further. So if you like stop there so you can see, that's a lot shorter. From there, just curve this back up under that line, and then another one just a little bit further up. Voila, you got a nose, or a beak, whatever you want to call it. Just off the top here, create another little circle. You just pretty much basically replicate your line here, just create a little loop just over the top of the beak. Don't have to do that, I just generally always do. I think it looks good. Off top here, where you got the circle shape, you just want to bring this up so you're curving the same way you kind of done this bit. Just bring it a little bit further up and a bit more sharp than the actual curve. And you want to bring this line back, like so. Now we're going to have the feathers, but this is basically the face. From here, you literally just want to curve this down and just make some rough triangular sketch lines. Nothing too much, just a little bit here and there. And that's basically where the face is going to go. Now, if you curve a little line just here from there, this is where the head is going to stop. So we want big triangular shapes, but curved triangular. So curve your line up, curve your line up, curve, 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 curve. But then off the edge, just do like a little kind of half curve. I'm going to do another little one just there, I think. And then in the center of them, just bring up a line. Now you'll see why when we shade that bit in. Very important, that just gives a really cool effect. And now you can add more if you want, you can add little curves here. But just stick to that rough triangular shape. Right, now that's your basic head. And now when it connects onto the body, for this style, front and back view at this angle, we're just going to scale this. So this is just going to be nothing but a line of semicircles, pretty much kind of directly there. And then each second set of semicircles, we just connect from the center of that one to the center of the next one. And you just repeat that pattern until we're down to that line. If you can get them all perfect, like even, that's pretty cool, but don't feel like you have to. You know, sometimes it looks really good to have them uneven. Especially if you're going for more of a neo-traditional look, where it's a bit more detailed. So you got that as the back bit. And now where you got this line here and this line here, this is going to be your first break in these wings, because this is where the wings are going to go. So it's going to bring up your first curve, just like a basic sort of, you know, long semicircular shape. Like so, and then off the edge of that, just underneath, just create another one. So you just basically skip the line that would go underneath the other line. So if you imagine you would have gone here, come off the edge, semicircle, there, semicircle. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Like so. Then just do that again underneath. You can make these ones a bit more detailed, like, you know, you can bring your line down, you can create like a little kind of the curve, a dip, and then your line. I recommend slightly curving them as they go up though, so they fit better. If you keep them going directly straight, sometimes you might get to a bit when it's kind of like almost overlapping, and it just doesn't look right when the wings are overlapping. Not at this angle, because you want it to be quite symmetric. Not dead symmetric, but yeah, a little bit can just ruin the whole feel. That's your second set of wings. At the bottom here is just the tail end. So you just do like another kind of teardrop egg shape at the center, with the widest point being at the bottom. And then just off the edge, just repeat that. So just curve those lines just off of the edge. You can have as many or as few as you want. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other thing I will say is always try to get a centre one. A centre one just seems to even it out for me. If you've got that in half, it just doesn't, I don't know why, it just doesn't look right to me. Now here it's just where the claw's going to go. So where you got the circular shape, just do 1 curve, 2 curve, 3 curve. Now I'm just going to have a little bit of a branch coming through here, so I'm just going to put in a really basic branch. Like so. And now for the claws, where we've done these 3 curved lines here, just turn these into sausages. So just bring in a line underneath and make it a sausage shape. To start with. And then on the top half, just do into little circulars. You'll see this a lot more clearly when I go into the pen. So just keep creating little circles just across the top. Add your little claw at the end. And now normally here you get the one that comes underneath, but obviously this is just going to go behind the branch. Use a weird bending angle, which only ever seems to work in old school. Any other style, it just looks like his hand's broken or something. And yeah, that's your basic layout for that. So I'm just going to quickly just pen this in now, so you can see everything really nice and clearly. Then we're going to rub it out and colour it in. So now you can use Sharpie, you can use any kind of pen. A nostril bit. Yeah, just literally just putting in all this line work. Now you can take your time with this. Now I'm always going to be quick on these videos so I can get everything into a nice quick video for you. And you can always pause, rewind if you go too fast or too slow. Now we've got that, just bring in these wings. Bring the bottom ones. Almost there now. You see, this is, in case you didn't quite see it clearly, this is what I meant by the circles, just off of the top half of the claws. And the really badly drawn tree trunk. And just put a few little wig lines down it. Nothing too crazy, just little random lines here and there. Just give a little bit of width. And the people. Now you see I've drawn in all the lines, the only ones I haven't done are the little ones just off of here. And you'll see why. So let's just rub all this stuff out. So now we got that. Pens. Now you can use pencil, paints, markers, anything you want. I'm just using Winsor & Newton brush markers here. It's just quick and easy. But I do the exact same thing with pens and paper. Paints, pencils, anything. So I'm just going to quickly colour in the black areas. Now the black areas are like the areas in between certain bits. Like down here, down the centre of the wings. Just going to black this out. A bit in between the wings. Just going to do a little bit underneath the first layer of wings. Do that for now, and I'll quickly show you how to blend this ones out. Now, if you're using the markers, pencil is easy. You just go across, you know, like you'd fade out like you do on pencils. With markers and water paints, I like to use a side-to-side motion sometimes on these. So I put the black in, and once I've got it roughly to about an even line, I'm just going to use a side-to-side. So I'm going to come in with a dark grey, so slightly lighter grey. So a very light grey. And that will fade out more as it dries. You know, brush markers are always a bit wet at first, so you should hopefully see by the end of the video once it dries a bit. Just a grey. Right. Same again. I'm just going to do it just underneath this top part. Nothing too crazy. It's just to create a few different levels. By levels I mean, like, you know, different sections. So you're going to have like, this one's going to be clearly over this one's going to be clearly underneath them, and so on and so on and so on. So we do that. So it's going to bring this and try and form a basic line. Now it's not quite going far enough to go underneath these feather bits, so I'm just imagining how the line would look going past them, and then just stopping. Like so. There, and lastly, just under there. Now with old school, it's usually very, very simple. People, sorry about that. Didn't realise my battery went dead. Yeah, so basically what I've just done there, just finish off shading in these bits. So just came across there. Now remember I said about the line that went up the centre of these bits? What I've done is, using my lightest shade, I just went up halfway on one side. Done that across there. Got a little shadow just underneath the eye, a little tiny bit in the eye, in the mouth, around the mouth, top of the head. And then what I started doing, just colouring these scales. Now these scales I'm colouring in brown, and what I'm doing, just leaving a little white edge by the line. Just give this really cool kind of highlight effect. Just like that. Always important to remember that with markers, when you first put them on, they come out a different colour. Like here, you see to this, the exact same. It's just where it's wet. It's just wet in the paper, and once it dries, the colour changes slightly. This is just basic tan paper, you know, craft paper. You get it off Amazon, anywhere, you know, just put it in craft paper. This one's Sea White of Brighton, I think. I just bought this one in a Hobbycraft. Nothing too special about it, it's just, I just think sometimes it's cool to work on different kind of paper. White's always cool, but I like to switch up. Sometimes I work on grey, sometimes I work on white. Sometimes I work on black and work in negative. That's always fun. So we got that. Now you got his beak. It's going to colour his beak in yellow. It's going to make it go a bit kind of musty colour, which is kind of what I want. Like so. And do the same thing just on his claws. Now if I was doing neo-traditional, I'd probably put some highlights in here. But for traditional, it's not really often on this kind of design you would really get highlights. So, for lack of authenticity, I'm not going to be putting highlights on those bits. Now the eye, you can do pretty much any colour you want. You know, I have a tendency to do a green eye for some reason, I don't know why. It's just what I kind of like to do. Just like so. What I also like to do is some little red stripes just on the leaves. I mean on the leaves, on the on the wings. So just gonna do that, there, 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 there. Now this is just completely decorative. You know, you don't have to do those bits. I just like to do that. And now for these top wings, you can either leave them white or you can colour them in. You know, you can go in brown or black. What I'll do is I colour it in brown, so you see it looks in brown, then I go over it in black. Now again, I'm just going to sort of just leave like a nice little white edge. Tell you what, I might do this and flick in black at the top rather. That'd be cool. But I always tend to leave the bottom ones white. I think it looks best if they are white. So that looks in brown. Just going to flow in some black. So I'm flicking it down quite far, about halfway through each kind of one. Then I'm just going to blend that out. Now if I was doing this like normally, like grand sort of picture, I would take my time and get this like really perfect, but I'm just quickly just flicking this in. Like so. I'm just going to add some brown into this branch. Then I'm going to put this cool red circle around the outside. And just do a little bit of brown on the end of the tails. Spin brown just across the bottom of these tail feathers. Like so. And brown line just going up the edge of them. Like that. Now you don't have to do that, that's just another thing you can do if you wanted. You could do that on the wing bits to match up. It's just to give you an idea of what you can do when you want extras. Pencil. So yeah, it's going to do this circular thing now. If I can just quickly find something circular, because I can't find my protractor. And I like this bit to be perfect circle. So let me take tape. Yeah, that should do the trick. Don't come back no more. Nope. There you go. So just going to put that in, just real simple. Just going to colour that in red. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another red line just around the outside of this. So just something that looks really good in old school stuff, you know, like a red circle, an orange circle. You know, you can do like blue highlights around the edge. It's just something you can do if you want to. Then what I'm going to do is just add this little red line all the way around the edge. Like that. And there you have it. There's how to draw an eagle from that kind of angle. Now remember, like I said, it's old school, you know, it's not new. Well, I suppose, you know, because I've done the thinner outline, it's a little bit neo-traditional. Excuse me. Now normal traditional would be sort of like, you know, a bit thicker outline. You can always do a cool thick outline as well if you want, just around the edge to bring it out. Key thing to remember when you're working in pen learners, you can always increase your line. It's not so easy to decrease it once you've penned it in. So if you're not too sure, I always recommend going thinner and then adding thickness to it afterwards. Like so. Do it like that, and if you want to break up sections, you can always do this. But this is more traditional. Right? When it's like very traditional, it's usually done with one line weight, where the line thickness is all the same the whole way through it. Neo-traditional tends to play around with different line weights, which to be honest always makes the image better for me. I love traditional, but neo-traditional's definitely more me, I'd say. You can go like that. It's always pretty cool. But yeah, that is how to draw an eagle from that angle. And a broken puppet, check out my other videos. Like, subscribe, yada yada yada. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.